Okay, so we're often asked how to remove and replace the hinge pin spring on GHDs, and this particular video will be dealing with a 4.2. It's a type 1. It's a type 1 because it's got the slots in the end. So this video will also apply to all of the earlier models, pre-Mark 3, Mark 3, 3.1, 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, type 2, which is this. So if you've got the 4.2, or sorry, a 4 point something, and it's got these slots, this will apply to you. This is a stripped pair which I've just assembled for this demonstration. I've put the hinge caps in place. So with a flat blade or flat tool of some description, just go in here like that and just gently lever up. Repeat the other side, just slide under and lever up. That will expose two screws. One's a pin actually and one is a screw head. Phillips screws working normally. So with two stubby screwdrivers like that, just put the irons between your knees and apply a screwdriver each side and just twist, and that will come undone. If it's extremely tight, what we do in the workshop, I have a Phillips bit embedded into the work surface, but if you have a vise, go and clamp a screwdriver into the vise, pop the irons down onto it like that, and then try again with it clamped in the vise, both hands perhaps on this top screwdriver. If that fails to work, grab an impact driver. This is just the simple cheap mechanics impact driver. It's very heavy, so if that bottom one is clamped in the vise, you can use the force of and the weight behind the impact driver to crack that open. And if it still doesn't come undone, then use the impact driver as it was supposed to be used, and that is to apply a hammer blow whilst you've got it in place, and that will definitely undo it. Absolutely no questions about it. Do not damage the screw heads with the wrong type of screwdriver. It makes it a lot harder to undo, and you will definitely need an impact driver to undo that. So we will go for the side that is just the screw and the washer. Take the screw out, see a washer's left behind, just flick that out, put that to one side. You can then see the hinge pin. Small screwdriver, just push into the centre of the hinge pin and slide it out. At this stage you can lift away the non-switch side arm, and that will leave you with this arrangement. There's two pins and a single, well, it's a double one but it's bent over, as you can see. So the two prongs go down and forwards, and that is on the switch side, and that single pin will go up and into the non-switch side. So once you've finished working on the irons, you just grab the spring, and with the two prongs pointing forwards and down on the switch side, just slide that back in. Push it down. If you can line up the holes directly through the irons, that is perfect. At that point you can offer up the non-switch side arm, and it just goes down into that position. If you want to double check that that's right, just hold it in place gently here and squeeze them together. You'll find that it will attempt to open up. Okay, now next problem is getting that hinge pin back in. You can possibly see that these holes do not fully line up at the moment. So what you can do is just gripping it between your fingers and thumb, you can squeeze it and rock it around a little bit until the holes do line up like that. At that point you can offer up the hinge pin. Doesn't matter which way round it goes or which side it goes in. Now it's gone in partially, but it's not going in the full way. So at this point you can either release and squeeze, but it's not going in. So just hold the arms together carefully, place it down onto your bench, get that same small screwdriver again, and whilst you're holding these, just poke the screwdriver in and wiggle the plastic around until everything lines up and it just pops into place. If you turn over here, you can see it's a little bit proud here, and I can push that through like so, and then you can see this side it is fully through. So at this point we would put the washer back on, screw back on top. Do not press down very much on this, just use the threads to do the work, otherwise you'll push the hinge pin back out again. At that point it's going to be turning both sides, and you're ready just to put that between your knees and tighten up. Just check the operation, absolutely fine, and then you can pop the hinge covers back on. As with most models, you have a longer and shorter tab. The shorter one goes into the shallow hole, and the longer one obviously into the deeper hole. Shallow one first, and then click into the deeper hole. Same with this one, shallow hole first, and click into the deeper hole. That is how to remove and reassemble the hinge spring on the 4.0s, the 4.1s, 4.2s, but the type ones with the slots.